जानामि धर्मं न च मे प्रवृत्तिर् जानाम्य धर्मं न च मे निवृत्तिः त्वया स्वामिना हृदि स्थितेन यथा नियुक्तो अस्मि तथा करोमि। अंतराय तिमिरौघ शान्तये श्रेष्ठ शक्ति करुणारुणाप्रभं सन्तनोतु मुनिवृन्दसेवितं भावगम्यम् अनिशं शिवं महः। करुणापूरिच्चित्तां सच्चिद्रूपां परां दिव्यां ब्रह्मसहचरीं तुर्यां बगलां शक्तिं प्रणौमि सौभाग्यां। यत्कारुण्यं वेक्ष भावभरितं सानन्दगीतं सतां तच्चिन्तानिपुणैः क्षुब्धमतयो ये साधकाः सज्जनाः तेषां लब्धकृपालवेन जननी बोधोदयो मे अभवत् तदवृत्तं विनिवेद्य साम्प्रतमहं तोषं परं प्राप्तवान्। जय माई महाराज की। Today, as it was decided earlier that we would discuss about Tantra and Agam. So this is an introductory session on Tantra and Agam. So we would discuss that what basically means Tantra and Agam. So in this line, first we would discuss what is Agam. Then we would move on to Tantra. So the very basic and most popular definition of Agam is Agatam Panchavakratu Gatam cha Girijanane Matam cha Vasudevasya Tasmat Agam Uchyate. It means that whatever has evolved has been told by Panchavakras, means 5 heads of Bhagavan Shiva. Ishan, Sadhyoja, Tatpurush, Vamdev, Aghor. These 5 heads of Bhagavan Shiva are there. So whatever he spoke out from these 5 heads and was heard by Bhagavati Shri Girija and is all about Vasudev, that only is called as Agam. So here in this first shlok only, the discrimination between very basic discrimination between Vaishnava and Bhagwan means Narayani Seva, and then Bhagwan Shiva is shattered. Bhagwan Shiva tells to Girija through his 5 heads about Vasudeva. So that only is something which is related to Vasudeva. That only is called as Agam. Now one can say that okay, in Shaivagam everything is told about Shiva. Then how is it related to Vasudeva? So the fact is that Vasudeva is Vasanat Bhuvanatrayam. One who resorts in every single object is known as Vasanat Bhuvanatrayam Vasudeva. He is called as Vasudeva. One who resorts in all the 3 bhuvans, Bhuvanatrayam, means Trilok and 14 bhuvan, that only is Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is Vishwarupa, Bhagavan. So the fact is, here it is explained that Agam is a scripture in which Vishwarup of Bhagavan is explained by Bhagavan Shiva through his 5 heads to Devi Parvati. Means he explains whatever is there in this world to Devi Parvati. Now it is very important, as we live in this world, when the world would not be there, these Agams would resort in Parameshwar Shiva as his Aham Pratyavamarsh. However, when the world is there, we need something so that we could understand where we are. Suppose it's like we purchase some new electronic item or any object. So with that we get a literature which tells us about the features and the shape, size, whatever is present in that, how does it look from inside, outside, how to operate, everything is given there. So in order to operate and use this world, this Bhuvan, Tribhuvan, which is Vasudeva means Swam Vishwarupa. Vasudeva means Vishwarupa. Vishwamay Shiv only is Vasudeva. There is no difference, means Vishwamay Shiv only is Vasudeva. Vasanat Bhuvanatrayam. So one who resorts in 3 words only is Vasudeva. So the Vishwa only is Vasudeva. So the Vishwamay Shiv, the scripture which tells everything about Vishwamay Shiv through his 5 heads, those scriptures and are told to Girija are known as Agam. So in order to live in this world, the literature which has been provided by Bhagwan Shiv through his 5 heads to Girija is known as Agam. So that is very first definition. Now as per content, Agam has another definition, that is Srishtischa Pralayashchaiva Devatanam Yatharchanam Sadhanam Chaiva Sarvesham Purashcharanam Evacha Shat Karma Sadhanam Chaiva Dhyana Yogash Chaturvidha Saptabhir Lakshanair Yuktam Agamam Tadvidurbudhaha. Means wise people have said that a scripture which comprises of Srishti, Pralay, worship rituals of Devata, sadhan means jap, home, etc. everything, Purashcharan, Shatkarma sadhan, and Dhyan and Yoga. These 7 things, seven topics. A scripture which covers these 7 topics is known as Agam. So if you will pick up Swachhanda Tantra and your even Tantra Lok also has these characteristics, so you will find that all these scriptures talk about origin of this universe, its destruction also, even the geography of this entire universe also. Then Devata, Archan, Sadhan means jap, home, etc. Purashcharan, Shatkarma also is explained. Dhyan and Yoga, all these things are explained. So any scripture which comprises of these 7 qualities is known as Agam. Now the fact is that one can say that even Vedic scriptures have these 7 qualities and various other scriptures have these 7 qualities. So for that I would tell that Pardarshi Acharyas, it is mentioned in somewhere that in Pardarshi Acharyas, or the fact is that even Acharya Vaishnavagams, everyone says that basically all the scriptures have the characteristic of Agam. Later on, Nigam and Agam definition and discrimination has happened. That is another thing. But the exegesis, the essence of all the scriptures is that they are Agam, and that only is explained in Swachhanda Tantra, that Agamo Jnanam Ityuktam Anantah Shastra Kotayah Shastram Shabdatmakam Sarvam Shabdo Hansah Prakirititah. Why? Because it says that all the Agamo Jnanam Ityuktam, all the Jnana in Anant Koti scriptures, means trillions and trillions and trillions of scriptures, means whatever scriptures are available, the Jnana that in it is Agam. Why? Because Shastram Shabdatmakam, all the Shastras are made of Shabd, means words. So Shabd in Sanskrit has very different thing. I will not go into that detail. So because for that we will have to take up a topic of mantra sadhana. So origin of mantra. So in that only this will be covered. And all these shabd, sarvam shabdo hansa prakiritita, all these shabd are hans only. So the essence of all the shabd is hans. So the fact is that in reality the essence of all the knowledge of all the scriptures of this world is hans only. Now there is another definition of Agam which Acharya Vaishnavagams also says in a manner that asamantadartham gamaiti tyagam sangyakam pramanam sarvasya tavat bhavati. Or Jairath explains it in much simpler way that prasiddhir agamo loke yuktiman athavetaraha, means whatever is famous in this world, whatever is acceptably famous in this world, that also is called as Agam. So these are some definitions of Agam. Now Agam are of 3 types: Shaivagama, Shaktagama and Vaishnavagams. So first we would discuss about Shaivagams. Shaivagam are of 3 types. Shaivagams are of 3 types. They are, Acharya Mahamaheshwar Acharya Vaishnavagams says, Dashashtadash स्वष्ट भिन्नम यच्छासनम विभोह तत्सारम त्रिक्सारम ही तत्सारम मालिनी मतम. What does it mean? It means that 10 Rudragams, 18 Shaivagams and Ashtashtak means 64 Bhairavagams. All these come together in the category of Agam. Now these Shaivagam, these 18 types of Shaivagam are of Bheda Bhed nature, Dvaita Dvaitvadi. Then 10 Rudragam are Bhed Drishti Pradhan, means primarily they are Bhed Pradhan, means dualistic in nature. And Bhairavagam are 64 Bhairavagam are Advait Pradhan, Advait Tattva Pradhan. Now how these Agams have evolved, so very precisely we will discuss that. It is said that Tatra hi Parameshwar ev Chidanandecha Jnana Kriyatmak Vaktra Panchak Melanaya Pancha Sruto Mayam Abheda Bheda 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 Bhedasho Tankanen Tattat Bheda Prabhed Vaichitratma Nikhilam Shastram Avatarayati. It means that Parameshwar himself uses these 5 heads of Parameshwar are his Panchakrit also, Chidananda Ichha Jnana Kriya or Srishti Sthiti Tirodhan, Srishti Sthiti Sanghar Tirodhan and Anugraha. These 5 heads means Ishan Tatpurusha Dhyojat Aghor and Vamdev these only are Chid, Anand, Ichha, Gyan and Kriya, or Srishti, Sthiti, Sanghar, Tirodhana and Anugrah Panchakritya also of Bhagavan Shiva. There is no difference in them. So by permutation and combination of these heads, he had spoken out the Abhed, Bheda, Bhed and Bhed, means Dvait, Dvaita, Dvait and Advait, Dvaita, Dvait and Dvait primal Agams. So and then this has been explained in Sri Kanthi Samhita, and that had been quoted by Rajanak Jairath ji in 18th while explaining the 18th Karika of first Ahanika of Srimad Tantra Lok. So all those who are interested may read that how these all these agams have evolved from these 5 heads in various permutations and combinations. Now again there is one more classification of these agams, and that is they are classified into four segments. The first is Pratibhagyan. So Pratibhagyan, the Pratibhagyan means the Gyan which evolves within yogi, within sadhak. That also is agam. Then Vedadi means scriptural agam. Then Maukhik agam means whatever you have heard from Guru Parampara, means if you will find that there are various things which come to you through Guru Parampara, which are a bit different from whatever is mentioned in scriptures or whatever is in general practice. So all the traditions or the Guru Paramparas have something very specific which they follow. So that also is agam. So these are 3 means. First 3 are means Swatma Prabuddha Gyan, the Gyan which has evolved within self. Then scriptural agam, and then third is Guru Parampara, means traditional agam, and then fourth is the praman available in local areas. Now the fourth one is not most accepted. It is our means secondary kind of, and in order to accept that, one shall take the one shall follow the words of Guru, or otherwise he shall follow the directions of scriptures, injunctions of scriptures, whether it shall be accepted or not. So local traditions also are accepted as agam. So these are the 4 classifications of agam. Now, where do they resort? Where do these 4 agams resort? So they resort in Vak Chatushta, means Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari. So in Para Vak only they resort as Aham Pratyaya Umarsha, and at Pashyanti level, that Parashakti Paravak only appears as Shrota and Vakta. Here Shrota is Devi and Vakta becomes Bhairav in Advait Shaivagam, and then Shaiv and other scriptures there are different. Also there is difference also, but in Advait Shaivamat, Devi and Bhairav is teacher and Devi is student. So in this combination you will see that one who questions raises the doubt, and that doubt only is considered as aham bhav, means creation, or that is bhairavi samavesh. And when the Guru clears that doubt, then it is called as maha means the doubt has been cleared. So it is sanghara avastha, means everything has gone into bhairav. So moksha has been attained. So the doubt is sansaran, and then clearing of doubt is sanghar, that only is called as maha, aham and maha. So, and otherwise Guru Shishya Pade Sitva Swayam Deva Sadashiva. So Guru himself is Sadashiv and Shishya also is Sadashiv. So the fact is there is no difference between them. So at Pashyanti level, Paravak Aham Pratyumarsh, Paravak only means divides herself into 2 and starts means narrating and then learning. Otherwise it is something happening within her only. There is nothing which is happening outside, and then it reaches down from Madhyama and up to Vaikhari it comes, and then it is spread in the world. So that is why it is told that Sarvasu Bhumikasu Akhandita, means at all the levels there is, at any point of time, people say that this agam is not non-existent, it does not exist and now it is disappeared. So it is not the fact. All the agams exist. The fact is that they exist in Aham Pratyaya Umarsha, Bhairav Vimarsha. That Paravak, they are there. Maybe or may not be, we do not have it with us, like lotus, flower of lotus sometimes squeezes or sometimes expands. So same way, while looking at the situation of world, Parmeshwar would send the Agam, spread the Agam again, or he would take back also. So that is up to his wish. Whenever he would want, again Agam would come to us, and otherwise it would go. And this is why it is said that at any level, at any stage, there is perpetual continuity. There is continuity is there. There is no break in their system, Agam system. At every point of time it is present, and the fact is that if it would not be present at any point of time, it would not be true. What is Satya? Satya is one which exists every time. Sat only has evolved as Satya. Satya has evolved from Sat means real, which exists at every point of time. That only is Satya. Satya is the truth. Satya is not that which is true today, but tomorrow it would not be relevant. So that is not Satya. Satya is one which exists every time. So that is Sanatan. So the Agam also are Sanatan. Now they have come to us in a due order. So that is Nara, Rishi, Deva, Druhina, Vishnu, Rudrad, Udiritam, Uttarotter, Vashishthat, Pura Prabhadakam, means from Shakti, Shiv to Shakti, and then Shakti to Sadashiv, and then from him to Vishnu, then Brahma, to Rudra, then from him to Rudra, then to Vishnu, then to Brahma, and then from him to Dev, and then from Dev to Rishi, and from Rishi to Nar. So this is the sequence of Agam which has been mentioned in the scriptures. This is the way the Agams have arrived in this world. So in this Shaiv, this is all about the tradition of Shaivagam. These Shaivagams only are used for the worship and attainment of Shiva Tattva in Dvaita, and Advait manner. And there is one more story related to it, that is of Bhagwan Sri Kant incarnated and he directed Durvasa. Everyone might be aware of that thing, so I am not elaborating that thing. And now we would take up Vaishnavagam. So what is Vaishnavagam? Vaishnavagam are of three types: Vaikhanas Agam, Bhagavat Agam, and Pancharatra Agam. So here they defined Agam as Nigamas Tantriko Mishras Trividha Prokt Agamaha, Nigamaha Vikhanah Prokto Mishro Bhagavatah Smritah. So the fact is that Vaishnavagams are divided into three categories. That first is Nigam, means Vishuddha Vedic, means purely Vedic Agam, that is Vaikhanas Agam. Second one is Mishra Agam, that is Bhagavat Agam, and third one, which is Tantric Agam, that is Pancharatra Agam. Now what is, we will take them one by one. What is Vaikhanas Agam? So the story of Vaikhanas Agam origin is that when Bhagwan Brahma was willing to create the world, he was trying to do it without Vedas. Without Ved, he was trying to do it. And he was not able to do that. Every time his attempt would fail. So finally, he worshipped Bhagwan Vishnu, and by his worship, he became capable of, he earned the knowledge of Vedic scriptures, and by the help of that, while digging into that, Khan means to dig. Khan means to dig. So as he digged the Vedic scriptures, Vikhanas, he became Vikhanas, and as he digged the Vedic scriptures, he became Vikhanas, and by the help of that, he created this world. So he only is Vikhanas Rishi. Now that is first story. Another fact is that Vikhanas Rishi took birth in Naimisharanya, only here where I presently live. So this place, Naimisharanya, is source of origin of a Vaikhanas Agam Sampradaya. Now means, unfortunately, mostly people do not know this fact, but the fact is that Vaikhanas Agam originated in this area, and this Vaikhanas Agam is of great importance. Shri Tirupati Balaji Mandir strictly follows Vaikhanas Agam tradition only. They follow Vaikhanas Agam only, no other Agam. Even if you will see, they have from Tirupati, a book has been published, Vaikhanas Agam Kosha. Everyone, means those who are interested, can see that book. That book is available for purchase online, means, or you can see the sample pages also. So Vaikhanas Agam is main Agam for the worship of Bhagwan Tirupati Balaji. It is very important, and it originated, Vikhanas Rishi belongs to Naimisharanya only. Here people unfortunately do not know this thing. So now the fact is that all the descendants of Vikhanas were called as Vaikhanas. The descendants of means sons and the lineage of Vaikhanas Rishi is known as Vaikhanas Rishi is known as Vaikhanas. So there are four primary pupils of him. They are Marichi, Atri, Bhrigu, and Kashyap. These are four primary disciples of Vaikhanas Rishi. And then totally there were 10. So these are Marichi, Atri, Bhrigu, and Kashyap are four prime disciples. Marichi has written Vimanarcha Kalpa, and the book is also published in Sanskrit, means it is available. It is published from Tirupati. Other scriptures are also available. Vaikhanas Sampradaya, Vaikhanas Sutra, means so many Vaikhanas sutras are also available. Grihi Sutra and etc. Shraut Sutra etc. also are available. So those who are interested can read those scriptures. Now the fact is that Vaikhanas Agam, the tradition followed in Vaikhanas Agam is more close to Vanaprastha Sampradaya. In Manusmriti it is mentioned as in Manusmriti is mentioned Vaikhanaso Vanaprastha tad dharma pratipadak shastra darshanam sthitah, means Vaikhanas is very close and related to this Vanaprastha tradition. Means so we have four ashram vyavastha, so Brahmacharya, then Grihastha, then Vanaprastha, and then your sannyas tradition. So Vaikhanas is it does not mean that only Vanaprasthis follow Vaikhanas. I will go on further, then I will explain you something very interesting on this. So it is not that, but the traditions, the culture followed in Vaikhanas is very close to Vanaprastha traditions. So that is why it is said that this tradition of Vaikhanas Agam is quite old in nature. It is mentioned in Gautam Dharma Sutra, Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, and Vaishnava Purana like Vishnu Purana, Matsya Purana. Even in Brahmanda Purana also it is mentioned. Brahmanda Purana is very important Purana in terms of Tantra. Shri Lalitopakhyanam comes from Brahmanda Purana. But there also Vaikhanas, this tradition has been explained. So it is quite old in nature. And if you will see that Vaikhanas, even Vaikhanas Vedic Shakha also is there, because Vaikhanas Sutras are available. Now, as I said, I will explain you how it is, even though the rituals are very much related to Vanaprastha, it is not only for Vanaprasthis. So how is it that? So we will discuss about Vaikhanas Diksha Vidhanam. So Diksha Vidhan of Vaikhanas Sampradaya is quite different. And it is unique, means you will not find such Diksha Vidhana anywhere else in general. So Vaikhanas sadhaks are called as Garbha Vaishnav, means they are initiated in the womb of their mother only in 8th month of when in their 8th month in their mother's womb, when they are in 8th month of pregnancy of their mother, they are initiated, and that Diksha ritual is called as Garbha Sanskar or Vishnu Bali. In this ritual, in 8th month only, as the child who is in the womb of mother is initiated in Vaikhanas Sampradaya. Here Guru is Bhagwan Vishnu only, and no outside Guru is there. Bhagwan Vishnu is primary Guru. Main Guru is Bhagwan Vishnu only, and it is considered that he only initiates one who follows Vaikhanas tradition. So this is something very, very specific and peculiar nature, means characteristic of Vaikhanas Sampradaya. Now, what is, because Shaiv and Shaivagams we have discussed various times that what is liberation, what is moksha in Shaiv Sampradaya, and we generally talk about Tantra and Shaiv Sampradaya. So I have not insisted on explaining what is moksha in those agams. Here we would discuss a bit about what is moksha in Vaikhanas Agam. So in Viman Archa Kalpa Maharshi Marichi says Sansara Bandhan Vasana Muktir Moksha, means mukti or liberation from bondages from the world, and vasana means longings only is moksha here. And this too is of 4 types: Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya and Sayujya. So while when you are in Salokya, you attain Amod Lok. When Samipya, when you Samipya moksha is, so Salokya means you would resort in the same lok in which God resorts. That only is known as Salokya, in same lok. Samipya means you would get closeness. Sarupya means you would look like Bhagwan Vishnu only. And Sayujya means you will be with him, means you will be there with him. So one who attains Salokya goes in Amod, and then one who attains Samipya goes in Pramod, and one who attains Sarupya goes in Sammod, and the one who attains Sayujya goes in Vaikuntha. So in this the procedure of earning this moksha is 4 types of sadhan. 4 sadhan. What are these 4 sadhan? These are jap, means mantra jap, ahuti means yajna, archana, and dhyan of Bhagwan. Now the Vaikhanas system has its own yogic traditions, and that time means we cannot discuss everything here. So I would just say that they have their own means specific mode of doing dhyan and yoga. They have their own traditions. One who is interested can go through the scriptures of Vaikhan Marichi. Bhrigu has also written Ved scripture Kriyadikar Karmat. So many scriptures are there which belong to Vaikhana Sampradaya, and those who are interested can go and read those scriptures and know more about it, because we are just going through an introductory session. So the fact is that there are 4 ways of sadhana in Vaikhana Sampradaya, that is jap, ahuti, archana, and dhyan. And again I would say that Vaikhana Sampradaya is pure, means this Agam is most Vedic Agam. This is typical Vedic Agam. There is absolutely no doubt in it that there is no difference. Means totally Ved based Agam is Vaikhanas Agam, and no other Agam has this kind of quality. Now second we would take up is we shall talk about Bhagavat, but I would so we will talk about Bhagavat Agam only. So in Bhagavat Agam, what is Bhakti Marg only is Bhagavat Agam. Bhakti Marg only is Bhagavat Agam, and Bhagavat Agam also has various scriptures. The name of these scriptures of Bhagavat Agam are given in Hayashir Samhita. There are 10 Bhagavat Agam which are mentioned there. Shri Prashnam Shandilam, Ishwar Samhita. So these names could be seen in Hayashir Pancharatra. Pancharatra Sampradaya's Agam is Hayashir Agam. In that Agam, the name of 10 Bhagavat Agams is given. So one who is interested can find the names there. So now what is Bhagavat Agam? So Bhagavat Agam, basic definition of Bhagavat Agam is that na danam na tapo nejya na shaucham na vratanicha priyate ananya bhaktya hariranyat vidambanam. What does it mean? Na danam, there is no, means by neither by dan, nor by tap, nor by ijja means puja, nor by shauch, nor by vrat. Only by longing and love and devotion towards Hari would give you moksha, and rest everything is vidambana. Vidamban means just a show off, or means useless. What I can say, vidambana means vidamban is pakhand kind of thing. So only bhakti is the main thing by which you can earn the Parmeshwar. Now who is Bhagwan here? Bhagwan is one, because it is Bhagavat Agam. So what is definition of Bhagwan? So Bhagwan is called as Aishwarya se Samagra se Dharma se Yashasa Shriya Jnana Vairagya Yosh Chaiva Sharnam Bhag Itirana, means the one who has 6 qualities. Shad Aishwarya, so means Aishwarya hai, Dharma hai, Yash hai, Shri hai, Jnana hai, and Vairagya. But the one who comprises of these 6 qualities only is Bhagwan. Shad Aishwarya Sampanne sa Bhagavato Vishnu Samupasaka Bhagavata. So the fact is that one who worships these 6 Aishwarya Sampanna, Aishwarya se Samagrasya, Dharma se Yashasha Shriya, Dharma, Yash, Shri, Jnana, Vairagya. These 6, one who comprises of only is called as Bhagwan. So the one who comprises of Shad Aishwarya, these 6 kind of Aishwarya only is Bhagwan Vishnu, and the one who worships such Bhagwan Vishnu only is Bhagavat, called as Bhagavat. So I am Bhagwan Bhakta Paradina iti Bhagavate Bhandate, because the Bhagwan is dependent on Bhakta. Here the fact is that Bhagwan is dependent on Bhakta. He has no, Bhagwan is totally dependent on Bhakta. So that is why also it is called as Bhagavad. So it is mentioned in scriptures as Aham Bhakta Paradhino, Haya Swatantra Eva Dvija, Sadhu Bhir Grasta Hridayo, Bhaktair Bhakta Janapriya. Means Bhagwan himself says, I am under Bhakt only. Here Bhagwan says, I am under Bhakt only. So the sadhana scriptures of this Bhagavad Sampradaya are Shandilya Bhakti Sutra and Narada Bhakti Sutra. So the fact is that, like here in Advaita Shaivamat, when we attain moksha, we attain the Gyan, and the Gyan, only by the virtue of Gyan we see that all around everything is Shiva only. In this Bhakti Sampradaya, at supreme level only Bhakti would dwell all around, and all around you will see Bhagwan and the devotion towards him. That is the supreme stage of a sadhak of Bhagavad Sampradaya. It is very crude definition, because otherwise we will have to go and dive deep into this Bhagavad Sampradaya, and then we will have to see that what are specific features. So I have given very specific definition, because we already have two more traditions which we have to discuss. So I have given only a precise understanding of what does it mean. So I have already mentioned the name of scriptures which are mentioned in Hayashir Samhita, which says Proktani Pancharatra Kalpe Kalpe Puramaya Vyastani Munibhir Loke Panchavinshati Sankhya. These are Pancharatra Agamanam. These are 25. Tantram Bhagavatam Chaivo Shivoktam Vishnu Bhashitam Padmodbhavam Puranam Cha Varaham तथा परम इमे भागवता नाम तु तथा सामान्य संहिता व्यासोक्ता संहिता चान्य तथा परम संहिता. So the fact is that Padmodbhav Puran, Varaha Puran means all these scriptures है ना भागवता नाम परम संहिता है ना, all these scriptures belong to Vaishnava Bhagavad Sampradaya. These are the Padmodbhav Puran, Padma Puran, Varaha Puran. All these scriptures are scriptures of Bhagavad. These are considered as Bhagavatagam. So apart from it, Pancharatra Agam has 25 Agams list, and that is I do not think that it is relevant to tell about all this. So Sri Prashna Shandil and so many scriptures are there. Rishis are there, their names are also mentioned. So those who are interested can find it very easily. So I am not taking it up. Now we will move to Pancharatra Agam, which is purely Tantric Agam. So the fact is that it is very interesting that even though Advaita Shaivamat and Pancharatra Sampradaya has various differences, and at the level of earning also some differences are seen, but then also I find that in these two traditions there are a lot of similarities also. I do not say that everything is similar, but then also, because in Advaita Shaivagam the word creates in 36 tattva manner. But here it is not. Here it is not like Chaturvyuh. It is said that Chaturvyuh word creates in Chaturvyuh manner, and then others. But so many things are there which are quite similar to Advaita Shaivamat. So what is Pancharatra? What is the basic principle of Pancharatra Agam? So it says that there are two kind of view. You can say arai. There are two kinds of arai. So view in English is arai, but here we will use view only because. So one is Satotodit view, which is of Paravasudev. Like we have Parabhairav and then Bhairava. So Satotodit view is of Paravasudev, and Shantodita view is of Vasudev. So Shantodita view, Vasudeva, Shantodita view, Shadgunda Sampan means he has 6 qualities. In Vaishnava Sampradaya, Bhagwan and his 6 qualities are very prominent. It means a very basic principle that one Bhagwan has 6 qualities. So Shadgunda Purita Shantodita Vasudeva Santere Prabuddha Rupena Vidyamana Shadguna. So in Vasudev of Shantodit view, Vasudeva Shantodit view, in Vasudeva of Shantodit view, the 6 qualities, Shadguna or 6 qualities, are always present in enlightened manner. And they sequentially in 2-2 manner, means in sets of 2, evolve as Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So these, and so means first two qualities evolve as Sankarshan, second two qualities evolve as Pradyumna, and third two qualities evolve as Aniruddha. And in all these three, other four qualities resort in Prasupta manner, or means sleeping stage. Otherwise, these three, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, also have the six qualities. But primary qualities are two, which is as per their sequence, and other four qualities are in Suptavastha, means in sleeping state, sleeping mode. They are not in active mode. Now again, from these four, means Vasudev himself, then Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, set of three evolves as, for example, from Vasudev, Keshav, Narayan and Madhav evolve. Sankarshan, from Sankarshan, Govind, Vishnu and Madhusudan evolve. From Pradyumna, Trivikram, Vaman and Sridhar evolve. And from Aniruddha, Rishikesh, Padmanabh and Damodar have evolved. So these are called as 12 Vyuhantar, Dwadash Vyuhantar. These are Dwadash Vyuhantar, and then they are considered as Lord of 12 months. And then again, as these 12 Lords of months have evolved, so again the Srishti procedure starts. And now the very interesting fact is that they also, this Pancharatra Agam also accepts the concept of Shabda Brahma, and then Matrika Chakra concept is also there, and then later on the origin of mantra is from these Matrika Chakras. All these things is explained in detail in their scriptures, and detailed study is required. So they called Shabda Brahma as Varnadhva, and from Varnadhva that Varna or Matrika Chakra evolve, and from that mantras evolve. So again there is a par and view mantras are there, so many procedures, like in our Advaita Shaivagams we talk about, in Shaivagams we talk about that from Parapashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari the mantras have evolved, and Jnana-adhisthana, Matrika, everything has been discussed. So same way here also this concept exists. So this is one thing. Now, so this is the way the origin has creation takes place in this Pancharatra Agam. And now again, what is deliberation of Pancharatra Agam? In Pancharatra Agam, it is said that basically one shall follow the Sankhya and Yoga practices, and by the virtue of that he may attain the liberation. But otherwise, if it is not possible, then Shuddha Vidya, by attaching oneself with, by acquiring Shuddha Vidya and giving up Sankoch, and one becomes Prabodhit, means enlightened in all the ways, and becomes free of the bondages. This is mentioned in Lakshmi Tantram. Sankhya Yoga Ashaktatva Shuddha Vidya Sanyoga Sankoch Tyagat Va Pradyotiten Sarvato Bhaven Mukta Bandha. Okay, in Ahirbudhna Samhita, moksha is explained in Ahirbudhna Samhita, is another scripture of Pancharatra Agam which says Sarvatyag Rupa Nyasa Yoga Moksha, means giving up everything. Such a kind of nyas, yoga, is called as moksha. And the Sharanagati means refuge towards God is to surrender in all the manners in the feet of Bhagavan. That only is called as Sharanagati. Now here again, very interesting fact is that Lakshmi, there has two Shaktis of Lakshmi are mentioned, that is Tirodhanatmika and Anugrahatmika. So Tirodhanatmika Shakti bounds the Jeev, and he has to face the heats of pap, means sins, and then sorrow. But when Lakshmi showers, does anugraha on the Jeev, he accomplishes the Parabrahma. Now, in the supreme stage of this Pancharatra Agam Sampradaya, what happens in the supreme stage of this Pancharatra Sampradaya? Bhagavat Aradhan Karma Sahakriten Lakshmi Narayanatmakam Gyan Rupam Brahma Gyanam Hi Moksha, means while doing Bhagavad Aradhan, one acquires, means while following all these procedure, when you will do Bhagavad Aradhan, Lakshmi will do Shakti, Anugrahik Shakti of Bhagavati Shri Lakshmi will slay all the sins, And at that level, Lakshmi Narayanatmak means like Akul and Kul Shiv. Concept is there in Shaiva Sampradaya. Here, Lakshmi and Narayana Swarup. Gyan would enlighten in the yogi, and that only is Brahma Gyan. And that only enlightenment of Brahma Gyan only is called as moksha. Means Lakshmi and Narayana come together, and so Lakshmi Narayanatmak Brahma Gyan only is called as moksha in this sampradaya. Brahma Gyan, which comprises of unity between Lakshmi and Narayana. And to realize that only is Brahma Gyan here in this Pancharatra Agam, and that only is considered as moksha. So again, this Pancharatra Agam also, this Pancharatra Agam also has various scriptures. Hayashir Samhita is very famous. Some parts of it are published, not complete, but some parts, and some like Ahirbuddha Samhita, various scriptures are completely published. So all those who are interested can read those scriptures. Here in means 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, everything cannot be explained. When you will read, you will find that there are various deep topics, and again in this Pancharatra Agam there are various very deep, intricate yogic techniques of dhyan and various dhyan, etc. They are very deep, and means like in our Shaiva Sampradaya, we have various specific, peculiar and unique yogic techniques. This Pancharatra Agam also has various peculiar and unique yogic techniques. So, but for that you will have to go through these Pancharatra Agams, or if someone is interested, he can go through these Pancharatra Agams and he can read that, study that, and those who are interested, they can practice also. Now we will move on to Tantra. What is Tantra? So the fact is that Tanoti Vipularthan Tattva Mantra Samanvitan. So the definition of Tantra is Tanoti Vipularthan Tattva Mantra Samanvitan Tranam Cha Kurte Yasmat Tantram Ityam Vidhiyate. Yasmat Tantram Ityam Vidhiyate. No. Yasmat Tantram Itya Vidhiyate. So the fact is Tanoti Vipularthan. The one here who is Tanoti Vipularthan, one who is expended in various arthas, Vipul arthas. Vipul means various, arth means arth. Parinamvad is discussed here. Tattva Mantra Samanvitan. So Tattva is 36 tattvas, and mantra means here mantra indicates kaladhva. So the fact is that one who expands herself into deshadhva and kaladhva, tattvartha samanvitan, into various forms, means in deshadhva and kaladhva. So deshadhva, you will see that 3 lok and then 14 bhuvans are there, varna pada mantra, and so this way desh and kaladhva everything has been explained. So that is very detailed topic. So the fact is that one who and then tranam cha kurte yasmat, and then liberates also, that only is Tantra. So now the fact is that a Shakti, here the one whose name is not mentioned is Shakti, the Shakti who expends herself, because we know that Shakti herself, this Shiv himself becomes a Vishwamaya, that Vishwamaya Rupa of Shiv only Swatantra Shakti. So that Swatantra Shakti herself expends herself into Deshadhva and Kaladhva. Kaladhva is what? While expending herself in Kaladhva, she deliberates herself as Prana. And in Deshadhva, she becomes a Vishwamaya. She herself becomes this word. So Tattva Artha Samanvitan. When you understand this reality that you only, that is Chiti and Chiti, that Chiti Shakti, Swatantra Shakti, and that Swatantra Shakti is of your own, then that only is the source of liberation. So the fact is that first line tells how it happens, what happens, and then second line says Tranam cha kurate yasmat. So she liberates. So by the time you will understand that there is only one Tanoti Vipularthan who expends herself, who expends herself into various arthas, or arth means arth stands for Parinamvad, means the fact is that she only becomes various objects like book, table, chair, means various lokas, and there in various devatas, 36 tattvas, and then Kaladhva, and then Deshadhva. All these she only expands in these various, so because there are various classifications and sub-classifications in them. First, Deshadhva and Kaladhva has three classifications of themselves, and then Kala Tattva Bhuvan, and then Varna pada and mantra. So in those class there are further various sub classifications. So it is said that these various is explained by word vipul, and arthan means she herself has evolved. Artha bhava vivartato artha bhaven. This is in Shabda Brahma concept also the same thing is accepted here. We do not consider Shabda Brahma as Brahma because that is of Parapashyanti level. We talk about Paravak also. Paravak is there. Who is the cause behind Parapashyanti also? So who is she? She is Paravak, and she evolves. And where does she live? She lives as Kundalini in yourself. She lives as Kundalini Shakti in yourself. She only is Kundalini Shakti. So the Kundalini Shakti who resorts in you only has expended herself in all these. So by the virtue of doing Kaladhva and Deshadhva Shodhan, you in reality what you do is you invoke that Kundalini Shakti. When Deshadhva and Kaladhva Shodhan happens, that Kundalini Shakti means enlightenment is invoked, and she runs up, and then at Visarg Bhumi she attains the Anuttar stage, and the seeker is liberated. Even if he is alive, he would become Jivan Mukta. So that way Tranam Chai Kurte Yasma. So this way the one who does Trana, one who liberates, so that entire system is known as Tantra. So the fact is that, so by this discussion it could be concluded that Tantra is a scripture. Tantra is a scripture, or Tantra is a sampradaya of Shakti sadhana, in which that Shakti who has evolved into Deshadhva and Kaladhva, where every single object of this world is enlightened, and the seeker is Trana means liberated. So that system is called as Tantra. Otherwise, in general Tantra, there is one more definition given by Sri Sadgurudev. He says that Tantra means Tantra, one which liberates from Tritap. One which liberates from Tritap also is known as Tantra. So one who liberates from Tritap, so the Tritap's liberation is same thing. Liberation from Tritap is same thing, what we have discussed just now. These only are Tritap. There is no other Tritap. So liberation from this Tritap. And otherwise, in very generic word, Tantra means a system. So here a system has been developed. What is that system? This entire word is nothing, but it is Deshadhva and Kaladhva. Even in science also you will see that space and time. What is this word? Space and time, game of space and time. People say that there may be more than string theory is there, which says there are more than 3 coordinates, so many things are there. But the fact is that beyond space and time there is no thinking and no ideology. No calculation is there beyond space and time. So the fact is that when you accomplish space and time and you purify it, by the time you purify it, you would be able to realize that that space and time is your virtue. You only is that Parmeshwar Shiva who incarnated as Swatantra Shakti and then deliberated yourself only in the space and time. So it means this word is yourself only, which is reflecting in yourself and is indifferent from yourself. So this only is what a yogi has to accomplish, and that only is a Bhairav Samavesha. So how does it happen? So for that, what has to be done? So for that, that Kundalini Shakti has to be invoked. And how she would invoke? By virtue of purification of Desh and Kaladhva. So for Kaladhva, simply Mantra Sadhana is done. Mantra Yoga Sadhana is done. And then various Samvit Chakrodaya is there, Pithika Ban, so many Varn and Sthan Prakalpan, so many Adavopaya and Shaktopaya based procedures are there. In Shaktopaya there are various procedures, even that Shaktopaya and even Shambhavopaya procedures also. Whatever you do is just, whatever you do in all the Shaktopaya, Shambhavopaya and Adavopaya practices, whatever you do, that you do only to purify Deshadhva and Kaladhva. Maybe you may directly not be able to perceive that at the point of time. For example, in Shambhavopaya, there is one very basic technique of Shambhavopaya. It is said that you consider that there is a hollow space and nothing is there. Just concentrate in the space on that. So what does it say? You have to concentrate in a hollow space. So space is there. So Deshadhva is there. And you have to do it for a specific period of time. So time is also there. So even though this is Shambhavopaya technique, nothing is there. When you keep your mind in Nirvikalp stage, At that time, that Nirvikalp stage is in this space only, and you do it for a specific period of time. So Deshadva and Kaladva Shodhan is happening in that case also. So whatever technique you do, that purifies Deshadva and Kaladva only. That is the main, because this is this is the very basic concept. So that is the reason why after fourth or fifth Ahanik, Acharya Abhinavgupta entire Tantra lok after fifth Ahanik, or maybe say after fourth Ahanik only, is beginning of Desh and Kala, because from fourth Ahanik Advopaya starts, so from there only, or from fifth Ahanik directly, means perceivably you could see that only Deshadva and Kaladva Shodhan is explained, nothing else is explained there. So whatever practice you do, you simply purify the Deshadva and Kaladva, and when it is purified, Kundalini invokes. So Tanoti Vipularthan Tattva Mantra Samanvitan Taranam Chakurti Yasmat Tantram Abhidhiyate. This is the definition. Whatever I have explained, that is the definition of it. Now, the entire Bharatvarsh, or entire world, I would say, is divided into three parts. So, three parts is Kashmir Kram, Keral Kram, and Gaud Kram. Okay, Kashmir Kram, Keral Kram, and Gaud Kram. Shakti Sangam Tantra mein, in Shakti Sangam Tantra, this has been explained in detail. And there is one more classification which is called as Ashwakrant, Rathakrant, and Vishnukrant. So it depends upon how the rays of sun fall on the earth. So this is such a old means in thousands of years ago we were able to classify, we were able to divide India's geography based on rays falling on it, sun rays falling on it. So the fact is that in earlier times, India, entire Bharatvarsh was divided into three time zones: Keral Kram, Gaud Kram, and Kashmir Kram. This is very interesting concept, because Bharat was such a big, means when we say Jambu Dvipe Bharat Khande Arya Varte Deshe, so Bharatvarsh starts from Iran. It is not that Bharat starts from this present Bharat only, from means Kashmir and then Rajasthan, and this is not Bharat. Bharat started from Iran. It starts from Iran and it is up to Java, Sumatra, Bali, and then in South Sri Lanka, and even deep down, all these regions belong to Bharat. So this entire Bharatvarsh was divided into three time zones, and those time zones were called as Ashwakrant, Rathakrant, and Vishnukrant. And as per those time zones, because in Kala Gadana is very important. Even from Vedic ages, you will see that in Shadanga of Ved, you will find that Jyotish is called as Netra of, means eyes of Ved. So all Vedic Anushtan has to be done as per Jyotishi Gadana. I will give you an example. Everyone knows about Yajna of Daksha Prajapati. Which Yajna he performed? He performed Brahaspati. So because in autumn season, Rasu Yajna cannot be done. So what is that? This is Kala Gadana only. So what he did, so if Rasu Yajna cannot be done, Brahaspati Savyagya can be done. So he performed Brahaspati Savyagya, in which he did not offer Ekadash Rudra Purodash Kapal, and for that his Yajna Dhvans happened, and Bhagavati Sati destroyed the Yajna, and she is called as Mahakali, who incarnated at that time. So this is all the story. So this is how the Jyotishi or Kal time calculation is mentioned as very important. So now the fact is that when the entire region is divided into three time zones, so in the same way the practices were also divided into three ways. So those are called as Keral Kram, Gaud Kram, and Kashmir Kram. Now the fact is, I will explain you in little details that what is Keral Kram. So first, Gaud Kram. Gaud Kram is Nepal, Bhutan Pradesh, Kamrup Pradesh, Utkal, Mithila, and Bengal, and this entire region is called as Keral Gaud Kram. Then later on also Myanmar etc. also would fall in Gaud Kram, but because that region does not belong to us, so then except Kashmir, rest of India is Keral Kram. Apart from these regions which fall in Gaud Kram, and except Kashmir, entire India is in Gaud Kram, and then Kashmir and rest of the Tibet and these all the Trivishta and all these regions fall in Kashmir Kram. So all these three regions time sunlight based time zones have their separate 64 tantra systems. Now the fact is that people confuse with 64 tantras and 64 Bhairavagams. People keep on, means I had discussion also with people, and they say that okay, there is very means confusion between 64 Bhairavagam and 64 Tantra. So the fact is that 64 Tantra is different and 64 Bhairavagam is different. 64 Bhairavagams are Ashtashtak Shaiv Sampradaya Agams, like Mangalashtak is there, Yamalashtak is there. So that way 64 Bhairavagams are there. 64 Tantras are different. You may find some Yamal names also in these Bhairav Tantras because of the fact that those Yamal scriptures like Rudra Yamal etc. have Shakti Sadhana content. So maybe some regions of India might be using that. Rather, Rudra Yamal is used in entire India. Rudra Yamal is used in entire India, from north, south, east, west, everywhere it is accepted. So why? Because it is one of Yamalashtak, means it is Bhairav Tantra, it is Advaita Shaiva Tantra. But due to the fact that Rudra Yamal has so many Shakta Tattvas in it, Vishnu Yamal, Bhairav Yamal, all these have Shakta Tattvas in themselves. So that is the reason why they are accepted. They fall in the list of these 64 Tantra list, all 64 Tantras also of the 3 time zones. So all the 3 separate time zones have their own 3 separate 64 Tantra list. The list is available. It is printed in various books of Lakshmidhara Tika or Saundarya Lahari talks about these 64 Agam list. Those who are interested can read that list also. It is not necessary to discuss the names, to tell the names here. But the fact is that one shall always keep in mind that 64 Tantras of 3 sets of 64 Tantras as per 3 time zones, which are Ashwakranta, Rathakranta and Vishnukranta, shall not be confused with 64 Bhairavagams, which are Ashtashtak. Ashtashtak Bhairavagam are different. The only thing is few Bhairavagams could be found in these 64 Agams, in 64 Tantras, because of the fact that they have some content which could be used to do Tanoti Vipularthan Tattva Mantra Samarnitan Taranam Chakurthi Yasmat Tantram Ityavidhiyate. For this purpose, means Tanoti Vipularthan Tattva Mantra Samarnitan Taranam Chakurthi Yasmat Tantram Ityavidhiyate. For this purpose, maybe few Bhairavagam could be used, but it does not mean that 64 Tantras of 3 time zones, 360 sets of 64 Tantras of Bhairavagam are same. And few people are confused in this also, that there are 3 lists of 64 Tantras or 4 lists of 64 which shall be considered as correct. So all are correct. If we talk about Bhairavagam, Advaita Shaivamat, so that is correct in terms of that. If you talk about Ashwakranta, Rathakranta and Vishnukranta, in that term, these 3 separate 64 lists are available. So the fact is that all the regions have their different tantric scriptures. Their different, even practices are different. For that purpose, I would suggest that everyone shall read Shakti Sangam Tantra. It is quite wide in nature, so Agam Rahasyam could also be read. So in that, one would be able to understand that how Shakti Sadhana is divided in entire India in this manner. Or Shiv Sadhana also is divided in India in this manner. So apart from these, the tantric scriptures are found in Ganap Sampradaya also, and then Saur Sampradaya also, and then even Bodh and Jain Sampradaya also tantric scriptures are found, and they are highly influenced by our tantric sadhana paddhati, Yakshini sadhana, Yogini sadhana, etc. Everything is there. And specifically in Jain and Bodh Sampradaya, Vaishnava and Ganap have their separate setup. They have scriptures also available. So, but I think our main emphasis was on Tantra and Agam only. So Agam has 3 and the Tantra specifically stands for Shakti Sadhana. So I think this discussion can be concluded. Jai Mai Maharaj Ki.